Hello students, this is Vidya Dhabai here. I welcome you all to my YouTube channel, that is Excel in English by Vidya ma'am. Of course, I would request you all to like, share or subscribe my channel. And students, you can see a link also here. So you can follow me on this link also. Well students, before beginning my today's lesson, I think that I must inquire all of you of your health, because the present times are very typical times, and I hope you are keeping in good health, all of you. And along with that, I also hope that you have understood whatever I explained you in my previous lesson. Of course, you might have gone through it again also. And I haven't seen any queries, so I hope you have understood my previous lesson, that is the parts of speech. So today we will continue with that series only. But what I think personally, before beginning today's lesson, I must share this thing with you, that why of course I have begun my lessons with the foundations of English grammar, the basics of English grammar. Of course, we will be going to next levels of English grammar also. So it is just like the way foundation of a building should be strong, only then the building will be very strong. So similarly, your foundation, your basics of English grammar should be very clear, only then you can follow the advanced level of English grammar. So with these views, let's start today's lesson, that is kinds of noun. So you can see the definition here, but before reading out the definition, let me share this thing with you, that noun is a very broader concept. It's not about the kinds of noun only. When we talk about noun, it means we include in this the number, that is the singular nouns, plural nouns, and along with that the subject as a subject or an object, that is another concept of this. Then of course the case, the noun case, that is the objective case, the subjective case, the nominative case or possessive case. I think you might be familiar with this case, noun case or pronoun case, and if you are not familiar, of course I would be taking this as a topic in my coming lessons, when we will be taking other aspects of noun. Of course, in this lesson though I will be taking kinds of noun only. So these noun as a case or noun as a number, I will be explaining you in my further lessons. Today only I will be explaining you only the kinds. So let's start today's topic, that is noun. So I don't think that definition is required to be explained. I will just read it out. So noun is a word that is the name of something. So name of something means person, animal, place, thing, quality, idea or action. But one thing I must explain you, here action is written, so you might think that action is verb. Any action is verb, generally it is said, na? So action here means when verb acts like a noun. Like swimming is a good exercise. So swimming is not playing the part of a verb here, it is playing the part of a noun. So that's why this word has been added here, right? So next is and is typically used in a sentence as subject or object. This concept I have already discussed with you, of a verb, or as object of a proposition. So object of a proposition means when we use this after any proposition, like the book is lying on the table. So the word table, of course it is a noun, but it is coming with the pronoun. So as you can see in the slide, of course before coming to proper noun, common noun, let me just speak out some words. Before we start with the kinds of noun, let me speak out some words like Priya or mango or city or country, happiness or gold. So of course no need to say that, you all know that these are nouns. what difference you see in each of the word what I spoke. When I say Priya or Rahul or Manoj, so you can easily guess these are some special names, right? Then next table, if I say it's just name of any object, right? If I say happiness, so of course happiness is the name of any idea. And if I say milk, so milk, of course it is a common noun, common name given to an object. But what you conclude from this thing, that we can categorize nouns into different categories now. So that's why, because of course it is the names given to all the living things and non-living things, or idea or state of mind in this whole world. So that means we have to categorize into different categories. So that's why the concept kinds of noun is there. So let's begin with the first kind. You can see the first kind given here is proper noun, but what I feel is I should start with common noun, then I will explain you proper noun, right? So common noun is that whatever living things or non-living things you see around yourself, that we have given some names to all the class, right? If I say like brother, man, woman, boy, girl, so what name we have given to this all? Of course, humans. So the class to which all this belong is humans. The common name we have given to all these is humans. So human is a common noun. Of course, boy, girl, sister, brother, these are also common nouns, no doubt in that. So that means the common names which we have given to all the objects or all the living things and non-living things in this world, those we categorize in as common noun, right? The general names we have given to all the things. So some of the common nouns can be name of place. If I say to city, village, country, or river, or mountain, right? So these are some common names of places. Some common names of other like trees or fruit. Fruit, if I say, so it is just a common term given to all the fruits, right? In particular, I am not speaking out any particular fruit, so that it becomes a common noun. So say there are some examples also given, which you can see on the slide. So let me read out these examples, then it will become clear to you. The first one is, Alex is a wonderful player. Now if you read the sentence, Alex is a special name, so that is the first category, is a wonderful player. So player can be any player, right? So player is a common noun. Now next is, he was not born in this country. So we have not specified any country, it can be any country, so country is a common noun. Then Sydney is the city he lives in. So city, of course it is highlighted, you can see. So this is the name of a common place, city. So this is a common noun. Next is, he is a man of dream. So I have already discussed man, woman, all these are common nouns. Then next is, he plays cricket with intensity. Cricket, the name of game, name of a sport. So common noun. That is a wonderful car. Car can be any car. So common term. So it is a common noun. Next is, Sia is an intelligent girl. So girl is the common noun here. We have already discussed this thing. I hope you have understood till here. So let's move to the next kind, that is proper noun, right? So proper noun is, let me read out the definition first. Proper noun is the name of someone which denotes a particular person, thing, place, species, right? That means when we give special names to common nouns, that and they become particular. When we are talking about a proper noun, that means a particular person, a particular city, a particular village, a particular girl, a particular fruit. So that is the from where you can just find out that this is a proper noun, right? When I say particular girl, say, so if particular name is given, that is Priya. So if I say Priya is my sister, so it is a specific name, so it is a proper noun. So let me read out some examples which you can see on the slide. The first one, although it is given in common nouns also, but the thing is in that Alex is a wonderful player. So player was a common noun, but Alex is a proper noun, right? Next is mango is a juicy fruit. So of course fruit, as I have discussed earlier, fruit is a common noun, but mango is a proper noun. We are talking about a specific fruit, so mango is a proper noun. Next, which you can see on the slide, the example is he was born in England. Of course, England is a specific country, so it's a proper noun. Next one, the Arabian Nights is an interesting book. So it is the name of a specific book. So that's why it becomes a proper noun. So I think that is enough for proper nouns and common nouns. And I hope you have understood these two kinds of noun. Still, if you have any queries, you can contact me on my here also on this. You can contact, or we can discuss in the further lessons. But after that, let's move to the next kind, which is countable nouns and uncountable nouns, right? So this is the next kind which I am going to discuss in this lesson. So as the name suggests, countable and uncountable. So the things which you can count, the nouns which you can count, are called countable nouns. So this is related to that singular plural concept also. Like if I say cat, you can see the example also in the slide, cat or cats, singular and plural. So this is related to that concept also. That is the, let me read out first the definition which is given here. Countable nouns are those that refer to something that can be counted. So immediately when I say this thing, that can be counted, it immediately those things might come to your mind, which things we can count. It can be living or it can be non-living also, right? Like boy, boys, right? So those are categorized under countable nouns, right? So whenever I am teaching such concepts, what I suggest that whenever my lesson begins, you should always be having your pencil, pen and your notebook along with you, so that you can note down the key points, and whatever I am discussing with you, those examples, whatever if comes to your mind, you can note down that also, so that the concept becomes clear to you, right? So that is a very I hope it is a good suggestion. So you should always follow this thing. Always when I am teaching, when you are listening to my lessons, a notebook and a pen you should be having along with you. Okay, let's move to the second next noun, that is uncountable. So when I was discussing countable nouns, of course singular plural is another concept which I will be discussing in another topic, but all the nouns which we can count, they come under this category. But when we make their plurals, different rules apply to, like if for example, if a noun ends with y, and when we make its plural, it replaces y and we put ies, right, in the plural. Suppose story ends with y, and when we make its plural, its stories, y is replaced with ies. So these are some of the rules which I will be explaining you when I will be teaching you this topic, singular and plural nouns, because some rules apply. So those rules I will be telling you, not here. So that's why let's move to the next kind, that is uncountable nouns, right? So guys, when the word uncountable, I say the word uncountable, immediately your mind, those things must come to your mind. What are those things which we cannot count, right? So just think Which things you cannot count? It can be living also and it can be non-living also. So of course immediately I think which comes to your mind is all the liquids, right? We cannot count liquids. We just measure the capacity of those things. Like milk. If I say milk, we cannot count milk, right? We can measure their capacity. So that means all the liquids are uncountable, right? Similarly, air you cannot count, right? And other way, garbage you cannot count, money you cannot count. So all the things which we cannot count come under this category, that is uncountable nouns, right? Some of the examples you can see, and I will read out the definition also. Uncountable nouns can't be preceded by a or n. So when I say a or n, so immediately the term articles come to your mind, right? Because a or n we just put with singular, with countable nouns only, with singular countable nouns. Because whenever you study this topic articles, so immediately that thing only that we put a or n with the countable nouns only. Whenever you read the definition, so this concept is given here that these come with the countable nouns, right? So that's given here. Next is many abstract nouns are typically uncountable. Now abstract noun when I say, so if you recall back the definition of nouns, their idea word was given, state of mind, idea, then some stage of your life. All these are categorized under abstract noun. So when in my further lessons I will be discussing when I will be discussing abstract nouns. So we will I will be telling we will go through that. These are actually related to our sense organs, right? So that students I will just explain you in next lesson when I will discuss this abstract nouns and other kinds of nouns, right? So let's come to this topic only, uncountable nouns. That is so that means all the abstract nouns are also uncountable. Now let me give you some examples of uncountable nouns, of abstract nouns only, why they are uncountable. Like happiness. Happiness you cannot count, it is a state of your mind, right? Bravery. Bravery is a quality, right? You cannot measure it in mathematical term, so that's why it becomes uncountable. Similarly, childhood, it's a stage of your life, you cannot count that, so that's why it comes under the category of uncountable nouns. Well guys, I think I hope you have understood whatever I have taught you till now in this lesson, and still if you have any queries you can contact me on my email, and if you have any questions you can ask me there. And I hope positive way only that you have understood, and keep yourself safe during the present times or during the corona times. That is a most you can say the first priority in these days. So guys, students, that's all for today's class. Thank you.